Well, look, 20 years ago, one of our all-time favourite singers, in the midst of her battle with Hodgkin's lymphoma, released this iconic album.
We are, of course, talking about our girl, Delta Goodrem, and her triple platinum album, Mistaken Identity.
And she's celebrating the big anniversary with shows at the Sydney Opera House, just a little room. And she joins us now here in the studio. Hey, congratulations!
Thank you.
20 years, 21 years?
Yes, that's right.
This album would be legal to drive and vote now.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Amazing.
So you know.
I wasn't back then yet, but but I was still a teenager. But no, I think the really awesome thing about there being these anniversary it feels like there's an opening in life where people can do these anniversary shows, and we had done it with Innocent Eyes, and we just had the most special time doing those shows around the country that I was like, we're going to do. The second album was so special, and it has so many stories, and so we're putting on these shows, and I've been able to dive in and be able to kind of have space around them and see them from a different viewpoint 20 years later, and see the gravity of what some lyrics meant, or it's really healing, really beautiful to share with everyone, and I just really deeply enjoy these kind of formats of shows, playing the album top to bottom.
Well, this was such a formative time for you in your life too. You were, what, 19, 20 at the time
19,
of writing
20,
and releasing. You were going through such a challenging time with your health as well. Take us back to that time in your life releasing this album.
For sure. I think that there was so much going on. I mean, it was such an intense chapter, and I think to kind of reflect and realise how young I was, I think I thought I was like this age, at that age. I think I sort of took it on as, stepping into that the first album had a whole world of its own, then writing, and I was so open, and I realised how open I was, open-hearted, open-spirited with my songwriting, and that's been something I've really discovered in going back into it. Like, wow, I feel like when you're just so open, and I think as a career happens.
It feels very personal, this album, in a funny way.
Yeah.
It has a real vulnerability to it.
Yeah, but you know what? There's still so much. I'm finding that when we play it live, you get to do justice for a record that I didn't get to play live as much back then. So it's kind of like this thing of, when we're with the band and we're playing, I'm falling back in love with the songs, and I'm really proud there's a moment like this to honour them, because of how much there was around me at that time, so much magnified, that we're playing them. I'm like, I love this song. I know why I put this song on this record. This is so awesome.
Well, there was so much love around you then as there is now. But you wrote this off the back of Innocent Eyes, which sold 4 or 5 million copies or something. Second only to Whispering Jack in this country ever. Incredible. So you're following up that.
Yes.
And you've got your cancer battle as well. I mean,
for sure.
No pressure.
And I feel like, we've spoken about it so much through the years. I think I felt like I went through that with everybody in the country. But I think that being able to sit at the piano with people in the audience and dive a bit deeper is kind of a really, a beautiful way to share that with people who might have had this album for their own journey, not just mine. And
I hope you're going to tell some stories too.
I am. I was thinking about them last time, and Matt walked in and I was laughing to myself as I was typing, thinking about a couple of stories, and he was like, "What are you laughing at?" I'm like, "Well, there was this one time," and you start going into it, and you start again seeing it from the here and now, and feeling safe to share those in that environment, amongst music.
You're going to perform this whole show, from all top to bottom of the album.
Yeah.
But there was a moment that I was thinking about of that time, which stood out for me, which was the ARIA Awards.
Yes.
And that moment of Darren getting up and singing that
Hayes,
song. I think we got it up here. But I remember being in the room when this happened, and it was just, when an artist like him pays tribute to an artist like you, it's a real magic moment in Australian history.
Yeah.
How was that for you, sitting there watching him do this?
Oh, I mean, you play that footage and I instantly get transported.
Me too, and I was in your position.
I'll never forget that moment. That's one of those moments where, and I kind of was thinking about it like with Extraordinary Day with the song. It's one of those moments where it's kind of like a time portal where it can go straight into. I can go straight into my memory bank and open it and I can be right there in my mind watching Darren sing Lost Without You in Kudos Bank Arena and feeling the whole room in my pink dress at the Arias, and I can remember just taking it in very, like...
It was deathly silence as well. Like, everyone was just... It was like a pin drop, this performance. It was quite extraordinary.
And it was such a surprise, too. I had no idea that Darren was doing that. I knew, obviously, I wasn't going to be able to sing that night, but... you know, it was special to share that with everyone, and so beautiful that Darren sang that, and he just did it so beautifully. Didn't know whether I could sing Lost Without You after that. You know, he'd done such a beautiful job.
You can.
Of course you
can.
It's just you with your wheelbarrow with all those ARIA awards.
Taking the hall out of there.
It was, but you know, I'm so grateful for all the moments. But you know, I also don't live in any moment, but I do treasure them, and I'm always open to talk about them. And I think that's what the beauty.
It's a blessing to reflect, you know, with the fans.
And you're going to give your fans some beautiful moments with these live shows too. It's going to be really special.
It is. I can't wait. It's last tickets, and you know, I think we'll have a full house, and we're pretty stoked to just you know, get out there and rock and roll.
Well, don't miss out. Her shows are next Monday and Tuesday at the Opera House. Only a couple of seats left up there, right at the back. Tickets.
A very good seat.
Every seat's good at the Opera House.
Every angle is good.
Every seat's good.
Can't go wrong.
I love to
Thank you.
See you
Thank
soon.
you.